This shit is not easy, but it's worth it. It's all about community. Spirituality is important. PocaSPEAKS. This shit is not easy, but it's worth it. PocaSPEAKS. This shit is not easy, but it's worth it. It's all about community. Spirituality is important. PocaSPEAKS. This shit is not easy, but it's worth it. PocaSPEAKS. This shit is not.
All right, happy Tuesday to everybody. I hope everyone has been having an amazing day so far. I'm still high off of yesterday's energy, okay? If you did tap in at some point last night as far as doing anything extra for the new moon or for the solar eclipse, then you should also still be high off of yesterday's energy. There was a lot going on energetically. Honestly, there's been a lot going on energetically since we started in March. Well, really January, but officially in the new year. Since we started in March, there has been a lot of energy cycles, and we have a lot more to come, okay? So one thing that I have been, and Spirit has really been on my ass with, if you know me, you know I love me some astrology, I love zodiology, I love all of the in-betweens, numerology, everything you can think of when it comes to really figuring out I like to say the what's going on? Okay. Wait. Check yourself. Hold on. Because what you're not going to do is go in and out on me. Come on, thing. Come on. Okay, let's see. Remember, we are in Mercury retrograde, so technology is going to be technology. And okay, so just keep that in mind. Told y'all that yesterday. If you didn't go watch the reading that we did yesterday for the solar eclipse and the new moon and all of that, definitely go check that out. The channel messages that we tapped into. We are also going through Mercury retrograde. We will be in Mercury retrograde until the 19th, and then we will be in a shadow period, meaning we'll still feel some of the effects of Mercury retrograde, but it won't be as powerful, as strong, as much. Okay. More towards May 13th, I believe, is the cutoff day, like the official cutoff day for that energy that we've been kind of dealing with. So calmer waters are coming, y'all. Calmer waters are coming. We are only a couple of days into Mercury retrograde, technically about 2 weeks into the shadow period, because we have a shadow period before. You want to work now? Okay, thanks. But we dealt with a shadow period before Mercury retrograde as well, and I think that started March, don't quote me, like March 20th or something like that. Anywho, lots of energy going on, lots of stuff going on. And lots of things will be going on. So Spirit has really been having me go more into my numerology, go more into my astrology, and really give y'all the juice for this year. Okay, so I'm currently working on something almost like a cheat code, a cheat sheet for this year. It will be available to everybody by next week. But I want to make sure that you guys have everything you need to really ride the wave of this year and get to success and get to a and be able to, enjoy the fruits of your labor this year and get everything out of it that you possibly can. That's the overall goal. Making sure that we are aligned and operating our purpose and doing what we need to do in order to attract to us the things that are for us. So today we're going to be talking about how to become a magnet for abundance. And I really want to be clear that we're not just talking about money. Okay, when we say abundance, it doesn't just mean, monetarily, it doesn't just mean financially, it doesn't just mean materialistically, right? When we talk about abundance, we're talking about a surplus or a lot of anything, right? You can have an abundance of cotton balls, right? So abundance can be seen and it can come in so many different facets, so many different ways. And one of the biggest things that we do when we are in a process of attracting abundance to us or attracting good things to us is we usually box our thoughts in, right? Our thoughts are usually boxed in, which is one of the biggest reasons of why we can't properly manifest, because we're thinking too much or overthinking. Okay, excuse me, confirmation burp. So when you are in a position, right, let's start from the beginning. Warming up, coming into spirituality, being what we call a spiritual newbie, meaning that you have been on your journey for, let's say, 2 years or less, right? You are still fairly new to the spiritual environment, to the spiritual community. Now, there's people who's been on their journey for a long time that still don't know how to properly manifest, right? But we're just starting from the beginning, okay? So let's say you've been on your journey for, a couple of months to maybe 2 years, right? Now, when you first tap in, usually the first emotion that you encounter is excitement, right? You're super excited because of the fact that you are now being exposed to something that you may have connected to, but you never could really pinpoint what it is, right? A lot of us, when we came into spirituality, when we came into enlightenment, okay, because some people don't like labels, right? So when we came into enlightenment, when we came into clarity, when we reawakened, okay, a lot of us were super, super excited because of the fact that we were coming from situations that may have felt like they didn't have any solution, or we were dealing with life issues that may have felt like it wasn't going to take us nowhere, or we had been traumatized up until a certain point and didn't have faith or belief that certain things could be ours, certain things could be possible or tangible, or that we can have certain connections to, things outside of ourselves. So we're coming into it with a whole lot of different reasons, a whole lot of different traumas, a whole lot of different understandings, backgrounds, and all types of things. So when we arrive to spirituality and, we're learning all of these new things that we didn't know before, or we're getting confirmation on the things we always felt but couldn't really put into words, we have so much excitement, right? You're super excited because it's like, finally I feel heard, finally I feel understood, finally I feel like I'm doing something that actually connects with who I am. Finally I feel like I'm operating in some type of, divinity. I'm moving according to some type of alignment, because this, it seems like it's what I've been needing. It's what I've been missing. It's what I've been, trying to attract to myself in order to change my life, or in order to see differences in my life, right? Now, after you get past that first phase of excitement, it usually then goes to anger, right? You start off real happy, real excited. Yeah, girl, crystals, Palo Santo, sage, new moon, full moon. What you doing? You got moon water. You got sun water. You got Palo Santo. You got what? Florida water. Like, we get real excited, right? But then the more you start to tap in, the more, especially if you're coming from a background like religion, or if you're coming from a background where certain things were, imparted into you or instilled into you that were wrong, right, in any capacity, right? Then comes anger. Then comes anger. Then comes frustration. Then comes, sometimes regret, right? Then comes sometimes depression. Then comes sometimes sadness or loneliness. And this is because now we are in a position where we're like, damn, I could have knew this information sooner, right? Or we get to a place where we're trying to educate people outside of ourselves. You come into spirituality, you want to educate the people around you because you love them, right? If I got something good, I'm gonna share it with the people that I love, right? So you go and you try to educate the people around you and all of these things, and you realize that this is your journey. They don't give a hell about what you're going through, what you experiencing. They not trying to do no damn rituals. Okay? They think that your ass is going to hell. Okay? Or they think that you playing around with black magic. Or they just don't care. Right? So then we get frustrated, or we get annoyed, or we get angry, or we withdraw from everybody, right? Because now it's like, damn, I done found something that's great and I want to share with people, but don't nobody want to listen to me, right? Don't nobody want to hear what I got to say. Or I'm going through this healing process now because I figured out that I need to heal, and I'm going to the people that I need to heal from, and they not with the shits, right? They are not, welcoming me with open arms, saying, hey, I'm so sorry for what I did to you, and however I may have negatively affected your life. They don't really give a shit, because this is about you, right? And I'm saying all of this in the beginning because it's very important to remember that this journey is about you. This journey don't have nothing to do with the people around you. This journey doesn't have anything to do with the things that you learned when you was a kid. This journey don't have nothing to do with nothing but the present moment, right? And you in this present moment. So before you can become a magnet, you first have to get clear on why you are doing this shit in the first place. A lot of y'all come into spirituality and then you get confumbled, right? It's a kerfuddle. It's you get confused. You don't know what the hell going on. I don't know what the hell going on. When I came into it, I kind of had an idea, and then I started, and then the deeper I got into it, 222 could be significant. The more I started to get fucking confused. I don't know what the hell is going on, right? Or I don't know why I'm here, or I don't know what I want out of life, right? And you got to be clear on who you are before you can attract anything to you. You got to be clear on who you are in this moment, because who you are in this moment is basically the energy that is going to act like that magnet and attract things to you. Now we are always a magnet, right? Based on our current energy, we are always a magnet, meaning we are always attracting things to us all the time. It does not end. Okay? It don't end. We are always in a state of attracting things into our lives, to us, around us, experiences, traumas. We are responsible for the things that we attract at this particular point. Now, childhood, I always tell y'all we're not responsible for childhood because we didn't ask to be here, in that sense, right? So we don't count that. But as an adult, where you are now, you are 100% responsible, and you have to figure out, number one, who am I and what do I want? A lot of y'all don't know who you are and what you want. And you got to start there, because how can I then go and chase something or go for something or set up a plan to achieve something and I don't even know what I'm going for? I don't even have a destination. I'm pressed to get a car with no destination, right? And that's how a lot of people look on their journey. They come into this journey thinking that they have, some type of idea, right? And then the deeper they get into the journey, they realize that they don't know what they thought they knew, which is, it happens for all of us. We're always constantly learning, right? So none of us really knew everything before we tapped in, and we still don't know everything, even though we are tapped in, right? Because information comes as we grow, as we excel, as we exceed, as we, continue to ascend, that the more information is revealed to us. So nobody has all of the answers, right? We are all in a constant state of learning. But until you know where you are and where you're starting at, you have no destination. Okay? Because who you are determines where you're going. Where you're starting determines where you will end up. So if somebody is unconsciously or consciously going through this world with negative ass energy, being disrespectful, being nasty, all of these negative quote unquote types of characteristics, and then they say that they have goals for themselves, I mean, how accurate is that going to be? You know what I'm saying? How close do you think you're going to get to those goals if you are housing all of these negative characteristics, right? Because energy is energy, and everything in this realm operates off of energy. Everything in this realm operates off of energy and nothing else. Nothing else. Pure energy. Everything that you think of that makes us who we are or that affects us here is all energetic. All of it. Down to the numbers. The reason why numbers are so important is because each number holds what? A different energy. The reason why zodiacs and planets and the cosmos is so important is because why? It holds different energies. And those energies affect people differently. Right? So everything is energy. And until you understand that one thing, you will continue to be lost on this journey. Okay? This journey is not about how much money you can make. It's not about how much success you can have or how many people know your name. It's about what are you doing with your soul? Has your soul improved? Have you become a better person? Because if the energy within you is not up to par, you're only going to attract whatever level of energy you're on. So if you're on level 3, you can't expect anything from level 20 because you're on level 3, honey. And the universe can only give you what you are or less. That's it. It can never give you what you do not vibrate at. It's not going to work, right? It has to be a perfect match. So all of the things that we want, we have to first be that energy. And the only way to do that is to first know, number one, where is my energy currently? Where is my energy currently? How am I thinking on a day-to-day basis? What are my principles and values and ways of being? Theologies, ideologies. What do I believe in? Do I believe in these things based on me and my own self-discovery and my own journey? Or is this something that has been instilled in me and I just went with it? And that doesn't just mean religion. That means anything. There's a lot of different principles and ideologies that have been instilled into us that we just went with because it was just a family dynamic. It was just some shit that we seen growing up or the things that was imparted into us, right? So we just went with it. But is it something that I need to continue? Or is it something that needs to end here? Right? Because regardless of what it is, it's attracting something to me. Whether it's negative or whether it's positive, it's attracting something. And until you start off and you do that inventory, that self-inventory, right? Self-reflection, then you're not going to be attracting the things that you think you are. You're going to attract some shit, but it ain't going to be what you think you want to attract or what you're aiming to attract. Right? So, how do we start to shift our energy? Number one, shadow work. Y'all know I'm going to always start there. And I'm going to always start there. I'm going to always start there. And specifically childhood trauma. Because a lot of the things that cause us blockages started in our childhood. I learned to have a scarce or scarce type of mentality from my childhood. I learned to always be worried about money and bills and my livelihood and be in survival mode because of my childhood. And you cannot be an abundance magnet and have a broke type of mentality. Right? So this is why I say you got to start from the beginning, because all of these things are connected. And if you don't address the problems at hand, right, then you're not really going to get to the root cause of why you're not attracting the things that you're trying to attract. So you got to start with, what did I learn in my environment as a child, whether it's something I seen, whether it's something I heard, whether it's something I felt or experienced, that caused me to be in a lack mentality. Most people that cannot properly manifest or properly invite abundance into their life have a lack mentality. You don't see yourself as being as abundant as you want to be, right? You may say it, but we can say anything out our mouth. I can say I'm 6'5". That's a damn lie. That's a lie. Maybe 5'1" on a good day, but that would be cap. I said it, but does that make it true? Does it make it reality? Absolutely not. So we have to stop fooling ourselves with saying things, knowing internally we don't feel the same about the things that we're saying. And this is a part of accountability. Being real with yourself, being raw with yourself, and saying, okay, cool. Let me do some inventory. Let me stand in front of this mirror and take some inventory and figure out what my issues and problems are. Now, can I address all of these things at once? Absolutely not. And you don't need to address all of these things to start to be an abundance magnet. Let's be clear. Nobody is saying that you need to be all healed up, because it's impossible. You're going to be healing forever. This journey lasts forever. So that's impossible. That's not the expectation, right? Nobody's saying that you need to change your whole life and be a whole different person no, nobody's saying that. But what we are saying is there are certain doors that are locked, and you have to unlock those specific doors in order to get what's on the other side of those doors, right? So you may not have to unlock all the doors, but there's certain ones that are in front of you, that are in between you and your abundance, that you got to get through. Those doors most definitely include childhood, right? And childhood is also one of those things that we will be healing for a while. It's not something that we can just get over, because it's so deeply embedded into who we are. Not only did we go through things as, children and experience things and all of that, but we also marinated in our mother's womb that was carrying trauma and generational curses and false ideologies and principles, right? When we get into, I think is it epigenetics? I believe that's how you say it. Put it in the comments if I muff that up. But basically, it is the study and the science of how trauma is literally passed down through genetics, right? So not only are we dealing with the trauma passed down from slavery and all of these other things that we experience as a collective, but we're also passing down individual family traumas that our families or bloodlines have experienced before we even got here, right? So we are facing and fighting so many different wars, which is why there is no need for you to be completely done or, super healed or none of that in order to have abundance. You just have to be in a certain mentality. Epigenetics, thank you. You just have to be in a certain mentality. That's it. You don't got to be all the way healed, right? Your life don't got to be flipped around a whole 180 already. Your mentality just has to be different. That's it. That's where you need to start. Mentality, right? So how do we start to address the mentality? How do we start to address our ways of thinking, right? The ways that we think when we're not even conscious. Sometimes, when I deal with my clients, and even when I deal with myself, because I know I'm going to talk about me all day. Sometimes we say things so negative and don't even realize, and it happens so fast because we're so used to it, right? For example, I'm probably a little bit more self-aware. I'm not gonna say a little bit. I'm definitely more self-aware of it now. But I used to be the type of person who people would say, oh, you'll be really good at that, or this is something you should do, or you're really good at this, you should take this to the next level. And I'm like, that's too hard. I don't know if I could do that, because that's difficult. Every time I did it in the past, it didn't go right. So I just, just that quick, I have negatively spoke over something that hasn't even happened. And we do it so fast, we do it so quickly, and we do it so unaware. right? And the subconscious is so much more powerful than the conscious mind because of the fact that it operates on autopilot. Your subconscious is on autopilot. It is the part of you that just does without thinking. You don't have to think, right? It's like, for example, your subconscious would be you getting up and walking. Now, did you have to think about walking? No, you just got up and started walking. Because your subconscious is so powerful, it's automatic. You don't have to consciously think about it. For example, you ever been driving and you reach your destination and you don't remember driving? Like, how the fuck did I don't even remember being on the road for real. Or you are in a process of driving and then you come to like, oh, I'm driving a car. Like you have the realization like, oh, I'm driving. I'm controlling this car. You could be going, not even paying attention, not even conscious, completely in la la land, mind somewhere else, right? But that car is still being driven perfectly. You're still braking when you need to brake. You pushing the gas when you need to push the gas. You turning when you need to turn. Put your signals on when you need to put your signals on. And you haven't thought about this not once. You haven't taken the time to think about it not once. You're just doing it, right? So the subconscious mind is on autopilot, and anything on autopilot has to be good. You don't want no negativity on autopilot, which is what we have. A lot of us have negativity on autopilot. So it's easy for us to jump to being negative. Right? You may have a gift to do something, and somebody may suggest, oh, you should go to school for that, or you should do this for that, or you should whatever. No, because ain't nobody gonna want to buy this. Ain't nobody want to buy this. I just do this for y'all. Ain't nobody gonna want to book with me. I don't even know nobody for real. Why would I build a website? Who's even gonna buy from my website? I don't know nobody. And you think with that type of conversation, not only internally, not just you feeling this internally, but you're speaking it out loud. And not only out loud, but to an audience of listeners. And you think that at some point you're going to encounter abundance moving like that. It's not going to happen. And it's something that you have to force yourself to start paying attention to. And the only way you can start paying attention to it and put it on your radar is to start paying attention to it now. Going through yourself. When I say literally breaking yourself down, right? Just like when something's wrong with your car. And I use this example all the time. Y'all know I'm going to give y'all endless examples so the sense can be made. When something is wrong with your car and you don't know what it is, and you take it to a shop, do they just start breaking the fucking car down into millions of pieces and just throwing shit away and scattering stuff all over the place? Is that the first thing they do? No. Why? Because they don't even know what the hell the problem is. We don't know what the issue is. So we're not about to go in and be destructive and completely break everything down and just throw shit away or just say stuff or, just start charging people for shit. No. First, we got to do a diagnostics test. Because this is going to let us know what the hell is going on with this car. First, we got to go do, a check, a good check. You gotta check the engine. We gotta get up under the hood and check your fluids. Check all of the sparks and all of your wiring and everything, your ties and up under the car, making sure we are covering all of our bases. Now, when we start to run into problems, right? Let's say the tires need to be rotated and you need your oil changed and your spark plugs need to be replaced and whatever else, right? Now that we have a concise list of the problems and the issues that are affecting us the most, right? Because we can only start with what we can start with, right? Now we go in and we prioritize. Where do I need to start? What is affecting me the most? What has the biggest negative, effect on where I'm trying to go and what I'm trying to do? Because that's where I need to start. And usually when we do that self-inventory, it's always childhood. Because everything that made you who you are at this point started in your childhood. And the very fact that you had a misunderstanding about who you are started in your childhood. So you got to go back to where you first misunderstood who you were. You got to go back to first where you were when you had no idea how life was and you started to learn the wrong things. You got to go back to those experiences that turned you into a negative person, or turned you into an overthinker, or turned you into a person who just doesn't have any, hope in the future, or any hope in who you are and what you can do for yourself. You got to go back to where that shit started at. Because that's where your magnet was created. Your magnet is created at birth, at conception, if we're being honest. You start attracting shit to you immediately because of your energy, right? And unfortunately, a lot of the energy that we take on in the beginning is not ours. This is why I say you got to first know who you are. Because a lot of us are walking around carrying the characteristics of our mamas and our daddies. And that's not who we are. It's just what we picked up on because that was the environment that we was in. So we have been conditioned to think that the negative, things that we picked up are actually a part of our characteristics and a part of who we are, when in reality, it is only just negative things that we picked up. And we should have been investing or having people invest into us in a different way so that they can basically awaken who we truly are, right? A parent's job is to, number one, provide safety for their child, provide love and a stable environment, but also to pull the greatness out of their child, right? To figure out what realm of things their child likes, who their child is, what the energy their child is that, that they hold, or whatever the case is, and help, really create and nurture that fire within that child. And most of us didn't have that because our parents didn't even have parents who did that shit for them. Let's talk about it. How many of your parents are living their dream right now? Go and ask your parents what they wanted to be when they was in high school or before they had you. Go ask them what they wanted to do with their life before you came into the picture or before they were traumatized. It's eye-opening. It's eye-opening. And then when you look at it from that perspective, right, a lot of parents unconsciously, because they didn't get to attain their goals and their dreams, and they didn't get to live the life that they wanted to live, and things happen and you're here, right? That negativity gets turned and put into you. So the regret and the hurt and the pain that they hold because they didn't get to chase their dreams or, align with the things that they wanted to align with, now become your problem. So now you got parents who got attitudes walking around the house. They get off of work and they mad and they yelling and they screaming and they beating on kids and all type of shit. Or they just not paying attention to you because they got all of this shit going on. So now you are basically in the hands of people who can't properly protect you, or, certain things happen. All because our parents were not in a position where they were able to figure out who they were first before we were introduced. And fortunately and unfortunately, it trickled down to a lot of us. A lot of us had children before we knew who we were. But the beautiful thing about where we are, right, as adults, is now with our children, with our bloodlines that we are creating and our families and legacies that we are starting, we are also in a space where we are coming into understanding of ourselves through our spiritual journey. So our children are going to be in a completely different environment and have a completely different magnet because of the fact that they're in an environment where they see their parents obtaining something. They see their parents chasing something for themselves. They see that their parents going for their own goals and dreams, right? They see their parents living with an abundant mentality. All of these things are qualities and characteristics that are great for a child to see. right? It's way better for them to see you struggling to become successful and working on your dreams than it is for them to just see you struggle. Okay? There's a difference between struggling and getting it out the mud and doing what you got to do to, attract the things that you want versus just walking around angry and mad because you're not putting that work in and things are not working for you. And then your kids got to deal with your nasty ass attitude all day because you're mad that you're not where you want to be in life. There's a difference. And don't be afraid for my parents out there to continue to pursue your goals and your dreams even while having children. There are ways to do it. But it starts with this. If I already spoke over my life that it is impossible because I now have children or because I'm now in whatever predicament, because everybody don't got kids, right? I don't have kids yet. But whatever your predicament may be, it's easy to look at your life and look at the things that you went through and look at your life as how it is now and be negative. That's easy. But we're not here to do easy shit. Because the easy things don't come with good rewards. The easy things come with bullshit. We don't want bullshit. We want good things. So in order for us to attract these beautiful, great, abundant things that we can see when we close our eyes, that's the thing. If you can see it in here, you can have it here. If you can see it here, you can have it here. Right? But the difference between seeing it and having it is action and belief. Action and belief. Right? I believe and I know internally that this thing can be mine, so I'm going to take action towards it. It's that simple. It's that simple, right? I know that I am worthy of having abundance, so I'm going to take action towards it. Boom. That's simple. But if in my mind I've already written myself off, if in my mind I've already been super negative, if in my mind I'm, I don't really believe, then why would I be in a position of expectation? What am I expecting at that point? What is there to expect at that point? I didn't canceled everything before it can even happen. I done wrote everything off before it can even happen. And we do it so quickly. We do it so quickly that we don't even notice that we did it. Which is why I say this is a process, right? This whole journey is called a journey for a reason because there are multiple different things that you will see, that you will experience, that you will go through, that you will learn in regards to who you are, in regards to your journey, in regards to what you're supposed to be doing, the life you're supposed to be living, and everything in between, right? So when we are in a position where we are not allowing that process to happen the way it's supposed to, and we're causing issues because we don't want to trust our intuition, right? Intuition is also a big part of it. If I'm not trusting my intuition, if I'm not tuned into my intuition, if I'm not listening to my higher self and my spirit team, my spirit guides, whatever the case may be, then it's going to make it that much more harder for me to figure out where I'm trying to go or to even get to where I'm trying to get to. Right? We have these built-in, I tell y'all all the time, it's a built-in GPS. When you follow your intuition, when you're listening to spirit, when you're listening to your spirit team, this is a GPS system. And it is basically created to take you from point A to point B to point C to point D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K until we get to Z. That's their job. So when we get into a place where we think we know it all, right? Which usually is because of fear. Because we know we don't fucking know. Let's be real. We know we don't know what's going to happen. We know we don't know what the next step is going to be or what the next experience may be. We don't know. We have no idea. So when we don't listen to our intuition and we try to act like we know, and then things mess up, and then once it mess up, we be like, see, I knew it. I knew it wasn't going to work. You didn't know shit. You manifested that. You spoke it. You said it wasn't going to work. And then when it don't work, you surprised, you shocked. See? Like you proving a point. You spoke it. If you would have said it will work instead of it won't, I promise you it would have. But the fact that your negativity, the fact that you allowed your fear, wherever that fear came from, that's why you got to go back to childhood, because where did this fear come from? For me, it was layers and levels to the fear. that was instilled into me. Number one, it was my grandmother, my father's mom. Not only did she raise me, you know, she was a part of raising me until I was in like middle school, her and her sister. You know, not only that, being in that environment and her just being scary, she's just one of them old scary country ladies, okay, from North Carolina, just scary, okay. She was one of them ones that, you know, 90s kids, we used to be outside, okay. We love being outside, being in the neighborhood, riding bikes and scooters and all type of shit. My grandma would be terrified. Stay where I can see you. Stay in front of the house. Girl, no, I'm about to be down the street. I see you later. What is wrong with you? Right? But not only that, she had my father. My father marinated in her womb. So the fear that was hers, wherever she got it from. So this goes back to generational curses. Generational curses, you know, a lot of it starts in childhood. Right? But since she had my dad, a little bit of that was instilled into him. This goes back to, what is it, epigenetics? How you say it? Yeah, epigenetics. So then my father goes and creates life with my mom, who has her own type of fear. My mother has a fear of a lot of different things. I'm not gonna put her business out, but you know, on a more regular level, on a not too deep level, right? My mother has a fear of a lot of new experiences, a lot of new things, right? Adventure. She get a little scary, doing things out of the box, right? Meaning, for example, I've always, you know, I got a Sagittarius rising and I'm a Gemini, so we be with the shits naturally, right? So when I went to Aruba, this is a couple of years ago, I went to Aruba, and the Gemini me, the Sag in me, I'm with anything you with times 100, right? I'll try anything. Well, I gotta stop saying anything, but I'll try most things once, right? And one of my travel buddies, my good friend, it's just me and her on this trip. We in Aruba. We had a good time. It's the last day, and the whole time we was there, she was talking about parasailing. Right now, I ain't never been, you know, too much of a fan of things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even ride roller coasters because I don't like the feeling of my stomach dropping. Like, it's just certain things that I just don't really, I haven't really just been a fan of, right? So I thought, because a lot of times, again, when your mentality changes, when your environment changes, when you change, the things that you thought you couldn't do or didn't like or whatever, it shifts. Now you can do it. Now you do like it. Now you will take a chance because this is different, right? So prior to that trip, you know, I've done basic things. I've been on roller coasters. You know, I've done, what do you call it? Zip lining, you know, things of that nature. I've done simple things like that on a lower scale, right? But we in Aruba, we on the beach, and she's, you know, she with all the shit. She a Taurus, okay? And if you know about the Taurus, they be with a lot of the shits, okay? Which is why Taurus and Gemini together, sometimes we get in a lot of trouble because we both just be with all the shits, right? So she's talking this whole trip like, yeah, the last day, I think I want to do parasailing. I'm like, I'm looking at people because we had a couple days on the beach. You know, we there for 5 days. So them 4 days, I'm seeing people parasail and I'm seeing people, you know, do little water activities. And I'm sitting here like, no, I don't know. Because in my head, I already knew I didn't like roller coasters. So I'm thinking about, okay, if I get up in the air and that thing started coming down, is my stomach going to drop? Because I don't like my stomach dropping. That's why I don't like roller coasters, right? I'm doing all this in my head. All of this is going on in my head. And I'm basing the decision of me doing something new on some shit that I did that was old. It happens so simply. It's the most simplistic situations that we do this shit in. This is why I'm using this example, because it's so simple, right? And in that moment, just with me doing something fun. This not even nothing serious. It's not like I'm trying to go get a new job or do, take a class or something deep. This is just doing something for fun. And I've already negatively in my head put all of this shit on the experience. Already. We ain't even did the shit yet. Already. I've been negative and I'm comparing something completely new. I've never been parasailing in my life up until that point. So I'm comparing something I've never done before, something completely new to me, right? To something that's old as hell. But at that point, I hadn't been on a roller coaster in maybe 5-6 years. So why am I bringing that up? Where is that coming from? 5-6 years before that, I was a whole nother age, a whole nother size, and a whole nother mentality. So why would that even be relevant? That's not relevant, right? So I'm sitting there, the last day comes, and she like, all right, she about to go pay her money. Because one thing about her, she'll do it by herself. She don't give a damn. Taurus, right? So I'm sitting here like, okay. One thing about me, I don't like looking pussy. You know what I'm saying? That's just not my flavor. I don't like looking pussy, especially if it's something that I don't think is that deep, but I'm making it deep. When I get that realization, I'm like, ooh, I'm looking pussy right now. And this is my solo return trip. So how she gonna go do the fun shit and I don't go do it? So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna give it a try. In my head, what I told myself is, if I get on this thing and my stomach drops. The last time my stomach dropped, did I die? The last time my stomach dropped, did I pass out? Did anything negative happen to me other than my stomach dropping? No. So even when I was using that shit as an example or as an excuse to not do it, it still wasn't even a good excuse because nothing negative happened to me other than my stomach dropping and me being uncomfortable with that sensation. That was it. So I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead. We go to the little booth, we pay our money, and the whole time in my head, when I say I'm scared as hell, this is why I be telling y'all, don't be afraid to do things even though you're terrified. A lot of times we want to wait until we're not scared no more. But sometimes if you wait till you're not scared no more, the chance will be over. The opportunity will have passed you. The door is closed. The window of opportunity has closed. So don't be like, okay, well, I'm still scared, so I shouldn't do it. No, do that shit afraid. Do it afraid and push yourself through the whole experience, because the act of you even pushing yourself through fear is strengthening you. The act within itself of you continuously fighting through that fear is strengthening you. It's empowering you. It is rewiring your subconscious, because what you're teaching yourself is, this feels scary, but it's not scary. So why am I feeling like it's scary? I have all this fear, but it's pointless. So why am I sitting here scared? And eventually the fear will go away. Because you basically, your body is like, something's not adding up here. I'm scared, but nothing is happening to me. I'm afraid, but I'm not in danger. Right? So you will have to adjust. Your subconscious will adjust. It will learn and say, oh, we're not scared of that. That's not scary. So sometimes you got to push through that fear, right? In order to open up that new avenue to your energy of fearlessness. So the whole time, y'all, I'm scared as hell. I paid my money. They're like, okay, we about to get on the boat, because, it was about, I think it was 4 other people. No, it was like maybe 8 of us. It was me and her. It was a couple. And then it was a family and their 2 kids. 2 parents, 2 kids, right? So I think that's 8, right? So they're like, okay, well, we're going to take off in a little bit, because you got to get on the boat so you can drive out so it's safe. So you can do what you need to do, right? So the whole time I'm sitting on that beach, y'all, and I'm in my head. I'm in my head the whole time. I'm in my head. But I'm stuck in it because I done paid my money. So this is the power of taking the first step. When you take that first step, sometimes what you're doing is locking yourself into it. Sometimes you gotta lock yourself into the shit so that you can't go and come up with 7,000 more excuses. You just gotta jump on it, lock yourself into it, and then just process it. Try to process it. So the whole time I'm sitting here, we ain't even got on the boat yet, and I'm just in my head like, oh my god, what am I? What if this? Everything in my head is what if. What if this? What if that? What if this? What if that? What if? 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 The only reason I can say what if is because the shit has not happened. So I don't have nothing to base this experience on because this is a new experience. So all I can do is come up with negative. When we in that what if place, what if, what you're doing is you're just coming up with negative alternatives to positivity. Instead of being like, oh, this is going to be so fun. This is scary, but I know I'm going to have a good time. Oh, that shit look fun as hell. It's scary. It looks scary. I'm a little scared. I ain't going to lie. But shit, we about to see. There's a way that you can talk about where you are and what you're experiencing without being negative. Right? So I'm like, okay. So once he say, okay, we about to board the boat, my heart like this. Now, one thing about me as a Gemini that I know about myself, I have a mean ass poker face. So you would never know shit unless I tell you, to be completely honest. I mean, that's just how I get down. You would think that my life is golden. And that's how you're supposed to think. Okay? Because it's none of your business. Right? So I'm sitting here with the meanest poker face. And this kid, the thing that was getting me is this kid's on this damn boat. And they about to do this shit. I'm grown as hell. And there's two little Caucasian kids on this damn boat about to do this. So I'm taking into account all of these things, which is what we do, right? When we in a situation and we scared, but we already committed to it, we start looking at everything. Everything is a clue, right? Everything becomes a fucking clue. So I'm looking at the people on the boat. I'm peeping their energy about how they feel about it. It was another young lady. You could tell she was nervous, right? My travel buddy, she didn't been parasailing before, so she not scared. And then the two kids, they excited. They jumping all over the boat and shit. They lit. The parents, they don't give a damn. You can tell that they probably travel and do shit for a living. I'm just sitting here in my head taking the inventory of everything. So I'm on this boat and they driving us out to a safer area. I'm just like, okay. I'm just in my head like, I hope I'm not first. I hope we don't have to go first, okay? Because I at least want to see somebody else go so I can prepare myself, right? That's what we want to do. We want to see if somebody else did it. We want somebody else to go first, right? Spirit may give us an idea that is only for us. That's why we may not see other people do it. But we still looking for examples. But what if you're supposed to be the example to set? What if it's your job to set the tone? We don't think about that, right? We looking to see if other people did it. Oh, I want to start this business doing this specific thing, but I was doing research and nobody has ever done this before, so maybe I shouldn't do it. No, maybe you should. If nobody has ever done it before, why wouldn't you try to do it? That means you will be the creator or the first or the innovator of whatever this thing is. But we don't see it like that. We see it as a reason to not do it. And it's the complete opposite. It's a reason to go do it. Right? Because that means that this is something that is specifically for you. And we have to get okay with being in unique predicaments because that's where success is. Success is not in uniformity. Success is in uniqueness. Success is in going with the flow. Not knowing what's going what. You just doing it. Because you know in your head, regardless of what happens, it's going to be fun. It's going to be successful. It's going to work out for my highest good. Right? So we get out in the middle. I'm all in my head, y'all. When I say I'm stressing, I'm stressing. I'm stressing. I'm stressing in my head. Can't show nobody, but I'm stressing in my head, right? So the couple, they go first. And I'm happy. Thank you. Because I want to see what this shit look like. I want to see if y'all scream. I want to see if the shit, act like it's going to fall out the sky. I need to see. I need to see how these people make it go up and pull it back down. I need to see everything. And that's what we want. We want all the answers. I want all of the answers laid out in front of me up front. Can't always have that. And you got to be okay with not having that. Fortunately, They went first, right? So they put their life jackets on and strapped them into the swing. And I'm just watching, and I'm nervous for them. Now I'm starting to do what? Project. See how all that shit happens that fast? It happens so fast. Now I'm putting my nervousness and my fear of the unknown or fear of something going wrong on these strangers. I don't even know these people. But I'm projecting. So if I can project on strangers, imagine how your parents projected on you. If I can project on strangers, imagine how the people in your life project onto you every day. And you never notice it, and you just receive it and take it unconsciously. Subconsciously. Remember, which is dangerous. Right? So they strapped them in, and they asked them if they ready. The girl in the couple is still terrified, right? I can see it on her face. But she in there, right? So I'm like, okay, go ahead, girl, right? They lift them off, and it was the smoothest little lift off I'd ever seen. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know it was gonna be that smooth. I'm thinking they're gonna be like, all around and the joint like that. I mean, literally, like he just pushed a little button and the thing was just mechanically lifting them up, right? So the girl not screaming, nothing. They just like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. Oh my God, like they just happy about the shit, like enjoying the experience. So now what you think that made me do? Relax a little bit. Calm down a little bit. Be like, okay, well, if they enjoying it and she not scared and she ain't yelling, now she be good. But then, as I started to feel better, you know what the next thought in my head was? Well, they didn't come down yet. So let me not get excited yet. Because what if they come down and them coming down is too aggressive? Or what if when they coming down, they stomach drop and it's like a roller coaster? Now I'm back into the mentality that I just escaped. Once we start feeling good about where we are, once we start feeling good about what we're doing, we allow another thought to come in there and break up all of the progress we just made. And it can happen quickly. All of that happened from me seeing them go up and it looked like it's nothing and me feeling calm or more calm to me then going back into fear because now I'm thinking about how it's going to come how it's going to look when they come down was probably about 30 seconds. That was about a 30-second thought process in my head that all of that happened. But that's how quickly we go right back into negativity because there's another part of the journey that is unknown. Right? So when they come down, it was a smooth thing, just like when they went up. And again, what happened? All of my fear kind of went away. And I say kind of for a reason. Now it's our turn. And what you think happened? I'm scared again. Because now it's here. Now it's happening. It's different watching somebody else do it. But now this is my turn. I'm the one that's up. I got to sit through this. I got to actually experience this. I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know. I have no idea. So now I'm scared again. Now I'm terrified again. So what do? I'm in my head. They putting a life jacket on me. I'm still in my head. The man ushering me to the damn seat of the swing. Still in my head. Right? But then he started letting us go up. And as we going up, that little thing rocking back and forth. And as it's rocking, the fear started leaving my body. For a couple of reasons. Number one, because the shit felt like a big ass swing in the air. I'm not gonna lie. Now I don't really have a big fear of heights. So that would have probably been another level, that a fear that some of you guys may have had to work through. I don't have a fear of heights. Heights don't really scare me. Not really, right? So We swinging and we going up and we going up and we going up, and we have to be hundreds of feet over the water at this point. And you know what I can see from being up that high? Everything. And it was beautiful. It was absolutely breathtaking. I have never in my life seen anything like that. Because usually, you know, being up that high or being up high in the sky and looking down is usually only from a plane. So I'm in a swing. My whole body is outside. And I'm swinging through the air over top of this beautiful blue water, damn near clear water. Blue as hell. The bluest water you've ever seen. Aruba is beautiful and it's very inexpensive. So if you want to go, definitely go. Very inexpensive. Very cheap. Very small island. They call it the Happy Island. It's one of the safest islands, period. Right? Period. They don't lock their cars. They don't lock their homes. They don't lock no doors. Their kids roam the streets. They have like maybe 2 to 3 robberies a year. Like shit like that. Like very safe. The whole island, across the whole island is maybe 30 minutes. Super small, super nice, super lit, beautiful. So now I'm up in the air and all I can think about is how beautiful this view is. How breathtaking this experience is. How amazing this is. And also, guess what? How grateful I am to have done it. Now that I'm in it, now that I'm up here, I've gained what? Perspective. Looking from the bottom, looking from the boat, I didn't see no hope. The boat ain't have no hope. You understand? Me being on that boat, I didn't have that perspective. And guess what? I couldn't. There's no way I could have had that perspective from that boat. Which is why I had to stick through the process. I had to stick with it in order for me to elevate and be able to see it from a different perspective and have a different feeling about it. So I worked through all of that fear. And this is just an example in parasailing. This don't have shit to do with all of the things that we actually be going through in our lives. But I had to work through all of that fear in order for me to get to that height and gain proper perspective. And then be appreciative of the entire thing. Be appreciative of the fact that I trusted myself and went with my intuition, went with my intuition and paid for it and locked myself into it. Because I know me. If I don't lock myself into it, I'm a coulda, woulda, shoulda forever. So this is why you got to go back and you got to learn who you are, learn who you're supposed to be, and start to get rid of those characteristics that are not yours. So that when you get to that place in your life now where you are pushing through fear, it's an easier process. And you know, even though I'm scared, I know that I'm worthy of achieving. Even though I'm scared, I know that this is going to work out for my highest good. Even though I'm fearful, I know that this is going to be exactly what I need. Right? And then when you accomplish it, you have a whole different appreciation for the entire process. Right? And I have footage of it. I'll probably post the footage of the, I don't think I can pull it up on this phone. Let me see. I might have it to show y'all the view so y'all can see the perspective I'm talking about. Let's see if it'll let me play it on this phone. So look, in real time, this is us lifting off, okay? And when I say, and I'm only using this as an example because, you know, it's super simple, but it also speaks to how we allow fear into all areas of our lives. It's not just when it comes to career or love or relationship or spirituality or whatever. We allow fear to dictate so many things in our lives, and it keeps us handicapped, and it affects the things that we are able to attract to us, right? So look at my face, okay? I'm looking like I'm still scared right now. I'm still terrified, right? So we lifting off, and the whole time As all this is going on, I'm in my head. So I'm like, okay, this is not too bad. It's not too bad. Okay. Okay. It felt like a swing in the air. I promise. Even though it looked like it was moving super crazy, it just felt like a big ass swing. Then we getting higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. And this shit gets high fast as hell. Okay? So now I said, you know what? This is beautiful. How dare I have all of this fear and I would have missed this beauty. I would have missed this perspective. That's my travel buddy. Hey, girl. I would have missed the opportunity to do something amazing and life-changing. Y'all see the boat all the way down there? We high as hell. And if you got a fear of heights, again, that's something else you're going to have to work through, right? So during the whole process, I done wasted all this time being scary on that damn boat. I done wasted all this time in my head thinking my damn heart was going to drop and my stomach was going to drop. All going through my head. This is all that is going through my brain. Now, this is them lowering us down. And even that was fun as hell. Now, from the perspective on the boat, that probably would have scared me. That probably would have scared the hell out of me, right? Being on that damn boat and watching them people in that swing go like this. What the fuck? Why is it swinging so hard? Right? That's the perspective from the boat. From the bottom. But when you in it, when you on it, I was having the time of my life. I wanted to do it again. And the only reason I didn't run that shit back is because we had to go to the airport. That was literally one of the last things we did before we headed to the airport to go back home. And I was so excited about it. I wanted to do it again. And guess what? My next trip, when I went to, my trip after that was Jamaica. When I went to Jamaica, guess what I was talking about? I wanted to do they got parasailing here? Oh, now you like it. Now you requesting it. Right? Excuse me. And even when I went to Jamaica, right? That was in June. I went to Jamaica that November, I believe. Right before Thanksgiving. Even when I went to Jamaica, like I told y'all, I've been ziplining before. I did all of those things before, right? But the ziplining that we agreed to do in Jamaica was through the mountains. I ain't never ziplined through no motherfucking mountains, y'all. Never in my motherfucking life have I ever ziplined through mountains. Okay, in the jungle. No, ma'am. I've never done that. So when I arrived there, I'm thinking, oh, this gonna be just a little zip line, go zoop, and then, just the regular ones that we used to get on when we was kids. Boom. I already did parasailing, so I think I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Water activities, I got this. I done did jet skis, parasailing, the whole nine. I done been in the submarine. We did a submarine tour in Aruba. So I was good, right? I'm thinking I'm lit. Y'all, they called our group and said, all right, y'all, we about to start. We gotta get in this truck and drive further into the mountains so that we can start our zip lining. I said, what the fuck do you mean we gotta get in the truck and go further into the mountains to zip line? I'm very confused as to what you mean by that. I thought that was the zip line we was going on, because it was a zip line at the, I don't know what you want to call it, not a host station, but at the place that we went, right? The I don't want to say office because all the shit is outside. The home base, let's call it that. That housed all of the activities that we was going to be doing, because we had like a package. We was going to do horseback riding, the zip lining, and then we did water tubing, which was also very fun. I'm thinking, At the home base, it was a zip line right there. So I thought that was the one we was going on. No, baby, no. They said we got to get on the bus. And if you know anything about Jamaica, the mountains and the hills in Jamaica ain't no joke. Ain't no joke. Ain't no joke. And the streets ain't that wide. And it ain't no guardrails, baby. You in the mountains. So something happened and that bus flipped the fuck off the mountain. You just flipped off. This is all that's going through my head. Again, fear. Even though I've had a successful trip and I done did something out of my comfort zone on my last trip, I'm still bringing that shit over here because it's not what I expected it to be. And a lot of times our fear is gauged upon our expectations. I didn't expect this particular scenery, so now I am allowing fear back into a space that it was not at first. Right? So as we driving through these motherfucking mountains, I'm terrified at this point. Not only because we about to go ziplining through the mountains, and I don't even know what these zip lines look like. But we in these mountains on this damn bus, and these motherfuckers drive fast as hell everywhere on them little bitty ass roads going up mountains. I'm terrified. I'm like, I cannot die in Jamaica, bro. All this is going through my head. I'm just making shit up at this point. Just scary, right? Now, these people have a business. They've been driving up and down this mountain for I don't know how long. Daily, okay? Because they got multiple people coming in daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. But because I'm in here and I ain't never did it before, I automatically assume the absolute worst. So we finally get to where we supposed to be at. And they're like, okay, now, you know, they put the gear on us. We got our helmets. They gave us our gloves. We got our little pulley thingy on that we had to put on so it can connect to the zip line and all that. And then we got to walk through the jungle. Okay? This is turning into a goddamn scene of Animal Planet at this point, y'all. And I didn't ask for this. I'm thinking we just gonna ride the horses, do a little 1-2 on the zip line, and get on the tubes and go get something to eat and take a nap because we had been up early as hell. So now we gotta walk through the jungle. Let me see if I can get videos of this because I really want y'all to see the perspective. Okay, sometimes when you see it, you can really understand. So we got these damn helmets on and we walking through the goddamn jungle. Literally walking through the damn jungle. Okay. To get to these zip lining posts. Now I'm still thinking in my head there's one zip line. And we're walking to this one great zip line. No, my love. There were 5 zip lining posts. And you basically zip line from one to the other until you get to the other side of the mountain. And then you get back on the bus. I didn't know this shit. I saw zip line. I thought it just meant one. So then what you think that did to me in my head? I'm back in my head. So instead of me walking and having fun and enjoying, I'm processing. I'm going through all the things that could possibly go wrong. I'm going through, damn, if I die in Jamaica, who gonna call my mama? If, something happen, how my mama gonna get to Jamaica? Okay, this is what's going on in my head. And all I'm doing is ziplining. But remember in the beginning I said I was raised by an older woman who had fear instilled into her. My mama had fear of doing the same types of things. She didn't. When I sent her that video of me parasailing, y'all, she called me like, "You stupid. Why would you do that? Something could have happened." Like, if you don't relax, what the hell? How you mad that I did something and it's over? Because that's just how she is. Right? So we finally get to where we're going to be at. And we get to this first zip line. And it's a little mini one. It's a little 1-2. So I said, oh, okay, that's ain't shit. Cool. I was expecting a lot more. Hook me up. Zoom. We go to the next one. Fun. We get to the second one. It was another little 1-2. Zoom. Go over that one. Get to the third one. Same thing. Boom. Now these zip lines are getting longer and longer and longer, okay? But in my head, can't be that bad, right? We're good. And it's a group of us. At this point now, it's like 15 of us, doing this, including the staff members. Like 3 staff, and then the rest of us are, guests, paying customers. Y'all, we get to zip line number 3. We go over that one. Now, remember I said I don't like my stomach to drop. On none of those zip lines did my stomach drop. So I was good. I'm in good spirits, right? Because none of my past is coming up. As long as I'm distant from some of the experiences I had in my past, I can be good in my head. Or so I think, right? So then we go over the 3rd one. And in order to go to the 4th one, we're basically now on this little stand. And you walk over, and it's a hole in the stand. It's like a I don't really know how to describe it. It's like a wood stand. It's a hole in it, and it's a rope. And each one of us had to get on the rope, and they had to let us down, okay, to the ground below where we were, in order for us to access the 4th zip line. So I'm not thinking nothing of it. I'm like, okay, cool, let us down, okay, whatever. I'm thinking it's gonna be like a pole, like at the fire department. You jump on the pole and it push you down, but instead it's just a rope. You hang onto the rope, and they literally are lowering you down to the ground. Can't be scary, right? So I get on it. It's my turn, and he like, you want to go fast or so? I'm like, well, I don't want to go fast, right? I want to go slow. Because I don't want to, I don't want nothing to happen now. I'm comfortable, but I ain't crazy. Don't just drop me. Because some people, they was just like, it was just a drop almost, within safety precautions, right? I'm like, I don't want to go that fast. I just want to get from where we are down. If you can do that, we're good. So I get on it, and he started lowering me slow as hell, y'all. But I say so slow. It was so slow. Now at this point, I'm just in the fucking air going down slow shit. I tell him, I'm like, okay, you go faster than that. When I said that, he released it some to the point where I had that heart, that stomach drop feel before he caught me, and then I landed on my feet. I was safe. But I had the stomach drop. That was my fear. I didn't want to feel that. So now I'm like, oh no. Now I'm really in my head, because I didn't want to feel that. Sir, you wasn't supposed to do all of that. Right? Now I'm thinking about how I used to feel on roller coasters. Now my mind is going back to all of the shit that I experienced before. Just because I had one little minor inconvenience that wasn't even inconvenient, because I'm alive. And it wasn't even that bad. It was just I didn't expect it. And that's what happens in life. We're doing something and we feel confident on our journey, and we're doing something out of our comfort zone, and we get more comfortable with doing it out of our comfort zone, and then something unexpected happens. Now, the unexpected thing doesn't take you out. It doesn't really fuck you up. It doesn't really mess you up. It's just unexpected. It's something that you didn't plan. And because you didn't plan it, now you go back to fear. Or something unexpected happens, and it's similar to something else that you may have experienced before, but it's not the same thing. But because it's similar, right, you automatically go back to that mentality. You automatically go back to that place of fear. You automatically go back to that place of doubt. And that's what a lot of us do. We get good on a roll. We get good with certain things. And then something happens. We get a little reminder, or something, kind of triggers some old shit. And we start falling back into that old mentality. Right? So now I'm terrified. I won't say terrified, but now I'm back in my head a little bit. Because I didn't expect for that to be that. Right? We have been having a good time this whole time. Laughing, hee-hee-hawing, even though the mosquitoes was tearing our ass up. Okay? Laughing, hee-hee-hawing. But at the same time, I didn't expect that. So now I'm back in my head. Right? So we go across the 4th one. The 4th one was cool. Now we have this 5th one. The 5th one is the longest one, the biggest one, and the highest one. The 5th one not only is the highest one, but it goes across the whole jungle, over the I don't want to call it a stream, because it's not a stream. what would you call it? It's not a lake, river, I guess you would call it. And we are hundreds of thousands of feet above this water. And we're going across. If you've ever seen Emperor's New Groove, right? If you've seen Emperor's New Groove, and you know when they was crossing that little bridge and they got stuck upside down and they fell down into the water, and that water was low as hell, deep as shit. That's almost how it was, but more, accurate to human experiences. So now I'm in my head. What the fuck? This joint long as hell. The zip line itself is a couple 100 feet long going across, because it has to fit from one side of this river all the way to the other side of the river to the end post. So not only is it high, but it's long as hell across, which means I'm going to be on the zip line for at least a minute. I'm going to be in the air zip line for at least a minute, more than 30 seconds. Right? Zip lines are usually like 20, 30 seconds. Zoom. You right across it. This is at least 45 seconds to a minute. I'm going to be in the air going across this thing. So I'm terrified now, because the man that made my stomach drop, so I'm already in my head. Then we come across this high-ass, long-ass zip line. I don't know now. Now I'm like, shit, I'm just ready to be done with this now. I'm over it now. Because that one little thing happened. I didn't enjoy this whole process until that one little thing happened, and now I don't want to be here no more. Now I'm ready to go. Now I'm ready for this shit to be over. That doesn't make sense. Right? Nothing bad happened. But me being in my head. So they strap me on, and I go across. And once I get out of where the trees are, and it's just clear skies, and you can look down and see all jungle and trees in the river, y'all, that was the most peaceful thing I've ever seen in my life. When I say I've never felt more peace in such a uncomfortable looking situation. Peace. It was breathtaking. It was beautiful. I've never been in the jungle before. I ain't never seen half of this shit before. I've never experienced this before. But now that I'm in it, now that I'm on it, even though I was scared and even though I had that little minor inconvenience, I still pushed myself to go do it. Because there was people that was scared to do it, and they had people, some of the staff members just walk them around. Because they was like, I'm not doing that shit. I'm like, you know what, I'm going to do it. Still push myself to do it regardless. And it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Being up that high over that scenery, gorgeous, incredible, breathtaking. It's something that's like, in what other situational scenario would I be able to experience this? I felt like a fucking bird, right? Got to the other side and enjoyed myself. Had fun, right? So I'm saying all of that to say, and I've said all of this to say, we have to be mindful of where our mentality is and where our energy lies. If we're not going back and retracing our steps and seeing how we got from point A to point B, if we are not investing time and energy into ourselves and making sure that we are taking on the right characteristics and that we are feeding ourselves the right thing, if we're not making it a point to be positive, then of course everything around us is going to feel negative, it's going to seem negative, it's going to be negative, because we're making it negative. Right? So in order for you to be a magnet for abundance, in order for you to be consistently attracting miracles and opportunities and new open doors and all types of new experiences to you, you first got to know who you are and where you are. Who am I in this moment? Where am I in this moment? And based on that, what do I need to do? Where do I need to go? How do I need to change? How do I need to grow? All of those things come after you first figure out where you are. You got to love yourself. You got to know yourself and appreciate yourself for who you are in that moment. Flaws and all. Hey, sis. Flaws and all. Flaws and all. I had to accept the fact that I had an attitude problem. I had to accept the fact that I was scary. I had to accept the fact that I had a nasty, characteristic, attitude, right? I also, when I started to break down all of these things, I also realized that shit wasn't even mine. My attitude didn't come from me. Was I born with an attitude? No. So where did I learn it from? my mama, the women in my family. Where did they learn it from? They mamas, the women in their families. Right? So I'm carrying around baggage that don't even belong to me, but it's affecting my life. And I'm allowing it to affect my life because I'm not taking time to sit there and deal with it. Just as simple as that. Okay? So to be a magnet, figuring out and appreciating and loving yourself for who you are first is very important. Because only at that point will you be in the right energy to grow. If I don't even love myself for who I am, then I don't have the compassion that's needed to embark on this journey. That's just facts. If I don't even like myself, love myself, appreciate myself for being, while I'm flawed, how can I love myself out of the flaws? How can I use compassion and understanding while I'm going through this transitional period and I'm growing and I'm learning and I'm changing and shifting? How can I do the two? I can't. So the love and compassion has to be there first, because that's what's going to be the gas and the energy to propel you into the changes and the transformation that is for you. All right? So light and love to everybody. Hopefully you guys got something from this. Feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your notifications if you're watching from Facebook or YouTube, because I think you can turn on notifications on Facebook. I don't know. Either way, definitely make sure that you go and check out my website to book any mentoring, consultations, therapy sessions, spiritual advisory sessions, any of those things, readings, all of that is all available on my website. I do have payment plans and offer payment plans on my website. It is at the checkout option, so definitely feel free to go and check that out. I am still doing a 2024 energy reading special as well. That is also located on my website. It is on the home page. So once you go on the home page and you scroll down, it's right there. You can click on it and book it as you see fit. Other than that, I will see you guys on Thursday. I won't be on tomorrow. Tomorrow is my back office day, so that's when I'm doing all of my, stuff that I need to get done. So I will see y'all Thursday night for Throne Talk. Okay, light and love to everybody again. Book the services as you see fit, and I will see you guys on Thursday. Peace.